Hi, Anna. Thank you for your essays. Now let's have a look at the first one. Spending time with a child can be more useful for developing new skills than reading. Okay. Uh, all right. Well, that's a very good beginning. I believe that doing different activities with a child has more advantages than reading alone. Definitely. This essay analyzes an issue and provides examples. How is an active leisure time influence on a child? Okay. Good idea, but we need to fix the grammar here. This essay will analyze this issue and provide examples to support it, and provide examples how an active leisure time can influence a child. So I'm not going to rewrite it physically because it will take me more time. And you would like me to move faster, right? Okay, the body paragraph. Reading has numerous benefits. Semicolon, nevertheless, comma. Nevertheless, playing table games or board games, actually we don't really say table games in English, we say board games, can develop skills that would be impossible to be cultivated just by reading books. You don't need the negation here. Okay, because, and you need to connect the sentence to the next one because the because sentence becomes a fragment, an incomplete sentence. Because when playing board games, and you would have a repetition here, and when playing board games, board, not table. Okay, I'm going to write it once, board games. A child could use his or their cognitive abilities by using logic and imagination that is impossible to refine just reading a book, okay, or by just reading a book. For example, a recent study by Harvard, you cannot just say by Harvard, you can either say done at Harvard University or done by Harvard scholars or scientists, shown or has shown, where we need to use shown is not a grammatical form in itself. It needs to be used properly. Shows or has shown, up to you which tends to use here, depends. That children playing regular, I would say children who play regularly, who play board games regularly, you need to fix this. You need to fix this, such as imaginaries, performed 20% better than their counterparts in a logical performed 20% better in a logical test than their counterparts. Okay. Therefore, the advantages of playing board games is clear, and it can be said that they give opportunities to a child to enhance their skills. I would say which skills? You really have to be specific which skills exactly. Maybe you could generalize like cognitive skills or problem solving skills. So perhaps you could be more specific here. Okay. Secondly, reading will not help a child be healthy and strong just reading. Okay, you're being redundant. You either leave the first one or the second one. I would go for the first one and eliminate the just reading. However, during physical activities or activity, especially sport, which is introduce new qualities such as competition and motor skills. Okay, I can see the idea behind this, but the language needs to be fixed. However, doing physical activity, especially sports, introduces or builds new qualities such as competition and motor skills. Okay, yes, that's a great idea. For instance, British Sport Council, are you sure it's the console? I'm not sure what you mean by this. A console, beg your pardon. Undo. A console is, is a function related to the embassy or ambassador for sports, something like this. I'm not sure what you mean here. Noted that children who do active sports, I would say who participate in active sports, such as football, basketball, or tennis, are physically and emotionally stronger than their classmates. Physically stronger is fine, but emotionally stronger doesn't collocate. You can say are physically stronger and emotionally more fit than their classmates. Uh, or you can say are more physically and emotionally fit, or more fit physically and emotionally than not that than their classmates. Thus, parents who spend active time together with their children will have a strong emotional connection in family and a healthy life. Oh, wait a second, you're starting another idea. All this time here, you were arguing for the thought that doing physical activity makes you better both physically and emotionally. Great. Nothing about parents spending time together and a strong emotional connection. So this is a sentence that starts a second idea, which is completely inappropriate here. Perhaps you could somehow make a connection between the two and split the support of the argument in two, but this needs to be done at the beginning of the paragraph, and so the whole paragraph will have to be rewritten, if you understand what I mean. But if you do it like this, you have simply thrown a second idea at the end of the paragraph, which makes this paragraph not unified. Unified means having just one idea and supporting and illustrating just that one idea. To conclude from examples and arguments given, I firmly agree that children who spend time in an active way have opportunities to develop new skills and even improve them. Yes, why not? More parents should be involved or become involved in a range of activities with their children. Oh, no. If more parents become involved in a range of activities with their children, it will be a huge benefit for their future life. For whose future life? For parents or children's? Because there can create a confusion and refer to both parents and children. Okay, again, be very careful what you argue for. You did not discuss the connection between parents and children, right? You have discussed playing board games and their advantages and doing physical activity and their advantages. No, nothing spoken about the connection between parents and children. So mind that you cannot add a conclusion about an idea that you haven't discussed, right? So this is a very nice essay, but you really have to be careful how you formulate your argument, how you keep your argument, your paragraph unified, and really pay attention to all the grammar and vocabulary misuses that I have outlined. I have corrected some of them for you. I have outlined them, put them in bold for you to see them, but I cannot correct everything, otherwise it will take me way more than 15 minutes to give you feedback. So please listen carefully, listen again to this commentary, and make yourself an error list and try to correct as much as you can based on what I said, and your writing will become better and better. Now let's have a look at the second essay. The main role of schools has not changed since the first school was opened in ancient Egypt, and it was a thing of civilized society. A song? Uh, I'm not sure what you mean here. I am not sure what you mean here, because I cannot even deduce what you mean here. Do you mean that this was a great achievement for the civilized society? Well, yes, you could say that, but why saying I cannot begin to understand. Okay, I would say has not changed, yes. That's an interesting way of opening that, yes, absolutely. In my opinion, a school should have more educational purpose more than entertaining and provide deep knowledge. Okay, again, language gets in the way of understanding your idea. Well, I don't know why you have this that here, but I can approximate. Let me try and fix this. In my opinion, a school should rather have an educational purpose. No, a school should have an educational mainly have an educational purpose rather than be entertaining. And It should certainly provide deep knowledge. Knowledge is not countable, so I cannot say knowledge. This essay discusses both issues. Both issues like being entertaining and educational, and provide examples. And I don't know, you can say discusses or will discuss probably in the future. Will discuss, not discusses, both issue and will provide examples to demonstrate points and support arguments why a school should be, not is, should be, because you're speaking in the should in the hypothetical. You don't say that a school is. If a school is, then nothing should be done. What you're saying, you're making suggestions. So you're saying a school should be a temple of knowledge. No, no fun there. No, we should only study and be happy that we acquire new knowledge. Okay. I really like the fact that you're trying to use a metaphor here. Yes, this shows your complex command of vocabulary. Yes, that's a very good attempt. Firstly, school education is the first step of a long educational process. Spelling. Process is spelled like this. On the way to receiving basic skills and knowledge for future life. Okay. I got the idea, but we need to fix this. School education is only a first step in the long educational process of receiving basic skills and knowledge for our future life, just for the future life. Because children come to school as a child with a minimum level of information and finish it as young adults, having their own opinion and point of view on different subjects. And this is a fragment. This is a sentence which is not a sentence. This is a part of a sentence. Why do we have this because here? Does it connect to the previous sentence? Does it explain why school education is the first step and so on and so forth? Or does it connect to something else? So let me do it like this. Because children come to school as a child, with a minimum level of information and finish it as young adults, having their own opinion and point of view and different subjects, what happens? So you should answer the question, what happens because of children come to school with no information and finish it as young adults with their own opinion? So what happens because of this? You really have to finish the sentence. For example, recent research by Moscow State University, and you have to capitalize that because this is the name of an educational institution, shows that children finish a school have a high level of IQ than who received only primary education. Okay, shows that children who finished a high school probably have a higher level of IQ, a higher IQ level than those who received only primary education. Okay, so therefore, some high schools provide a deep learning of mathematics, physics, or languages, which helps children to prepare to university exams. I hate to disappoint you, but what is your point here? What is your point here? Guys, go to school and finish high school. It is important to finish a high school because it offers a lot of knowledge, such as deep understanding of mathematics, physics, or languages. Because, if the purpose of school is to prepare you for university exams, that's a bad school, because a school should prepare you for life as well. Not everyone goes to university. So, frankly speaking, I'm not sure what's your main point here. Do you mean that the purpose of school education is to give you basic skills and knowledge for the future life? If yes, the argument here needs to be rephrased. So, unfortunately, this paragraph needs work. This sentence is unfinished. This is an unclear example supporting I am not sure what. You have a very nice beginning of an argument. You are trying to show that schools are really valuable, and that's great. But you really have to organize your thoughts, and I can't do this for you. I can only give suggestions. Secondly, children who attend school develop communicative skills, interaction with counterparts and teachers. Do you mean thanks to their interaction with their peers, not counterparts, peers, like children of the same age, and teachers. Do you mean this? This is because this happens because school education implies that children enhance abilities such as to be attentive, disciplined, tackle with various tasks, and be purposefulness. Okay, I think I can see the idea. So, do you mean that children develop communicative skills because schools enhance being attentive, disciplined, and so on? This is a bit disconnected because, yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I hate to ruin your argument, but it doesn't connect. You don't build communicative skills because schools teach you how to be attentive and disciplined. You don't become better at interacting with your peers and teachers because school teaches it teaches you how to tackle with various tasks and be purposeful. Purposeful, not purposefulness. Purposeful is the adjective. So perhaps you'll need to find a way to connect these two ideas because so far there is almost no connection. For instance, a recent study done at Harvard University, I mentioned this before, proved, not evidence, or provides evidence is a noun, that children highly involved in studying at school obtain necessary skills for future life. Uh, you probably mean, what do you mean by highly involved in studying at school? Having good grades at school? Or what exactly do you mean by this? Because I'm not sure. And this argument I have heard before. You said this in the first body paragraph right here. So you are repeating yourself, which shouldn't be happening. Thus, curricular plans should include a range of studying subjects and provide different learning tools. Okay. Right. So I have looked at the conclusion. To conclude from arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that a school should provide different subjects to study which will be useful for children in future life. This is your main argument, and this is your only argument. So, this is a nice starting point, but you really have to figure out how argumentation works. Basically, it's like this. The question asks you, do schools have to be more entertaining or more educational? Which one do you agree with? You have to choose one and support your opinion. You have chosen one. You said schools have to be more educational. Why do you think so? And you're answering this question because school will teach you basic skills and knowledge for your future life. So you have to support this argument. How does it do that? It does it like this and like that. By simply saying that schools provide a lot of subjects and prepare you for university exams, this is not an appropriate support for this argument. But then you don't have a second argument. So why schools have to be more educational? Because they prepare you for the future life and because they build communicative skills and interaction with their peers and teachers, then this is not developed here. This is not answered here. You start with this point, but then you go on elsewhere. You come back to studying hard and obtaining necessary skills for future life. So I really hope it all makes sense. But I'm sure that gradually you will learn to see how to plan your essay, and it will all start coming together and making more sense. So make a good error list and I don't know, consideration list for yourself regarding the structure and the feedback of your essays. Try to improve them, practice that, look at the sample essays that you will be provided. As far as I know, we do have sample essays, and see how it will work. I am sure that you will be able to improve in no time. But anyway, you have a nice start, and I'm sure that this can become much, much better if you work hard enough. Thanks, and all the best of luck.